Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Crispy Kareem and I make videos in which I say my opinion, I talk about a certain subject, and I get things off my chest. And you have come to listen for some reason, so thank you very much. I appreciate it so much. If you like what you've seen, what you've heard, then please give this video a like. Press that subscribe button and share this video with your friends and your loved ones. And if you don't like this video, then keep a closed mind, like the monolinguists of this world, because I want to talk about being bilingual. And you know, my personal experience, my personal journey of this. So I've said this before that I am originally Lebanese. I speak fluent-ish Arabic. I say fluent-ish because I still make mistakes in Arabic, and my mum laughs. So, and then she tells the rest of the family, and then, you know, if I'm in Lebanon, they will usually say, "Oh, you speak like an Armenian in Artin, وبتحكي مثل الأرمني." You know, you've probably heard it before, and I'm sure someone's going to go into like some butthurt essay in the comment section about, you know, it's actually really racist and it marginalizes people, and probably be true anyway. So you can cry your hearts out in the comment section, and like, it's the comment shoulder for you to wipe your tears on. This, put your tears here, the comment section, the shoulder to cry on. Okay, I've lost track of this. But yeah, I'm Lebanese. I speak Arabic and English. I was born and raised in the UK, and I very much value being bilingual. I've been wanting to make this video for a long time. Not as long as I've been wanting to make that Ramadan video, but alhamdulillah, that's finally out. And I'm very much proud of how I got here, because it was hard. Learning another language really is hard, and even though I very much believe that what is spoken colloquially in Arab countries, besides Kurdish, Tamazight, and the other very non-Arabic languages that we have in Arab world, like, obviously I believe that they are dialects of Arabic: Lebanese Arabic, Egyptian Arabic, even Moroccan Arabic. I mean, it's very hard to understand, but I believe that Moroccan Darija is a dialect of Arabic, just because I like Moroccan people. I like all North African people. You know, I don't, for the most part, I don't hate people based on their nationalities. But obviously I've struggled with learning Arabic. I'm not sure if any other British Arab has like felt this. I don't know that many Arabs who were raised here. Like, I have family friends, but I haven't like seen them in years, and it was more predicated on the fact that I would go out with their parents, which we don't do because we're all in our 20s now, and I think we've just drifted apart. I do not speak French because the British teaching system for foreign languages is awful and very much based around the island mentality that we have here in the United Kingdom, bar Gaelic speaking communities and Wales, who are increasing the amount of people that speak Welsh. So well done for you guys, that is awesome. I hope that number keeps going up. But yeah, that's a whole nother language I'm gonna make, like, whole nother video I'm gonna make in the future about foreign language perception in British society and imperialism, whatever. But there were two specific things that made it hard, or more than two, but I want the two specific to Fusha Arabic. So I didn't grow up around that many other Arabs, and I also did not grow up in a predominantly white area, even if it sounds like I did, because I grew up in East London. But most of my friends growing up were Desi and black and Eastern European immigrants, so I didn't really know that many Arabs who grew up here. Most of the ones I knew grew up in West London, because they always seem to live in, like, even though there's Lebanese restaurants everywhere, they always seem to live in near around Edgware Road, Kensington, not necessarily the rich parts, Acton, Ealing. Apparently Kingsbury has a lot of Iraqis, which is very new to me, but you know, northwest London tends to be the area where most of the Arabs live. I think I know a few who were raised in Brighton, but they all seem to live close to each other as well. So, you know, good for them. I'm not jealous at all. But obviously that meant that I don't really have any opportunities to speak Arabic outside of the house. So it was always kind of bad. I'm also, when I went to an Arabic school, we all spoke English to each other, and all of my Arabic schools were in West London. So I went to two Arabic schools, and the first one I went to was Qatari, and they moved around a lot because we don't have our own building. It was a Saturday school, so they would usually, I think they had to pay the school money to use it on on Saturday. I don't know how it works. I've never run an Arabic school, but it was next to Whiteley's the year before on my first year. Then they moved to White City. Then they moved to Alperton, and then after the year after I left, they moved to Cricklewood, and then I never heard from them. So I don't know what they're doing now, but screw them. I did not like them. The second Arabic, but yeah, the fact that it was a Qatari Arabic school was an issue. Not all the teachers were Qatari, and when I first went to the Arabic school, I was doing okay because I had a Palestinian teacher and she had a Palestinian dialect that was close enough to Lebanese Arabic for me to understand. But like after that, I had Egyptian teachers and Khaliji teachers, and that just threw me off too much, and I couldn't understand what they were saying. Like it was like, and I don't have as much issues with Egyptian Arabic now because of university and stuff, and just me enjoying Egyptian music. But it's hard, and especially when you're autistic and like you have that one thing that throws you off and it kind of breaks everything. It's like a big glass structure and a small pebble that can just destroy it. It's, you know, it really made learning Fusha Arabic difficult for me, especially because those teachers would just ramble on and on and on and on, and they weren't very engaging, so that made it hard. So when I was 11 and when I started secondary school, my parents decided to transfer me to a Lebanese Arabic school because the people who ran it were friends with my parents. So the wife was the head teacher and the husband taught GCSE and A-level. Apparently they've both retired. I know the husband is retired. I don't know if the wife is retired, but I really wish I'd asked one of the teachers because I saw her at the انتخابات المغتربين. Shouldn't be using مغتربين. In May, and I wish I'd asked her now. But I really did not like going to the Qatari school because I was very lonely there, and I just felt like a waste of time. I really wasn't interested in learning Arabic either, and it was something I took for granted at the time. So my mum was genuinely considering homeschooling me after that, but my dad said, no, we have to send him to an Arabic school. So the fact that this Lebanese school was opened was very good. I don't even know how they found the Qatari school because my brother went through that up until GCSE and he was fine. So obviously it was just not the right fit for me, but he did fine and he got A star in GCSE Arabic. So did I. And so did I. Because they were more engaging and stuff. And that was really good. And that will lead on to something I want to go on to in a second. I just want to go off on a couple of tangents. First one, I'm pretty sure I feel like there's a diaspora versus homegrown Arab thing where if you grew up in an Arab country and you learn Arabic, you learn the action, subject, object structure of Arabic using the phrase ضرب زيد ناصر, which is that Zayd hit Nasir. Obviously it's a different sentence structure in English, but if you grew up outside, like in the UK, I grew up in the UK and learned Arabic. I know that this happened in my second Arabic school, and I think this happened in my first Arabic school. They used the term أكل الولد التفاحة, which meant the boy ate the apple. I just wanted to like check if that is the real thing, if it's just in my head, because I need you to confirm this for me. Second side rant. This is like institutionalized brown parenting. So basically, when I was in my first year of Arabic school, my mum got this really angry letter, and they said that like it was something about how we did this thing called imla, or dictation, where someone reads out a text and you have to write down everything they read. It will be like a paragraph, and you have to spell and it's to make sure that you can perceive letters and words correctly, and it's a useful skill, especially in Arabic, because you have similar words like sad and sin, or ba and the. And I remember like one time there was this really angry letter that got sent to our house, and it was like only 3 kids out of the class of 25 got 100% in the entire test, and my mum yelled at me because she yells all the time, and it was so annoying because she was so mean about it. And then I went there, and then when I got the mark, I found out I made one mistake and got 95% on the thing. They sent out this letter for no stupid reason. I don't know how much everyone else got, but I got 95% on it, and my mum was calm after that. But that was annoying, and that was really messed up. Also, what was messed up was that my school, during like the like fun days, and like would play Jamhuriyat Albi for like the Debke vibes, and I'm like, we're ignoring the very misogynistic lyrics. I mean, come on, نحن متطورين ورا أغنية بكفي إنك رئيسة جمهورية قلبها, or whatever. But yeah, so I finished in 2014, which was when I did my GCSE, and I got an A star. I wanted to do A level, but my mum wouldn't let me because she was like, ركز على الGCSE تبعك which I mean, I like bit off more than I could chew anyway, so it's probably best for me not to do A level Arabic. But because I haven't had any Arabic language education, like classroom education, since then, it didn't decline immediately, because I was obviously still living with my parents, but it definitely went downhill when I went uni. And I didn't forget Arabic completely, but my Arabic got noticeably worse, because when I was growing up, especially when I was in secondary school, I'd go to Lebanon, and my relatives would be like, إيه منيح بيحكي عربي ما شاء الله شو شاطر هالصبي عم تربيه منيح. And we'd like, yeah, like, of course we're sending him to Arabic school, and he can read Fusha as well. And then in 2018, I was like 19, and this was the first time I went to Arabic school after I started university. So this was like June 2018. I went with my dad, and I had obviously set a standard by then, because my relatives on my mum's side, who I would normally stay with, because I used to go with my mum, and then I started going with my dad because they went separately. But they would say, I would visit my relatives on my mum's side of family, and they'd be like, بلش ينسى العربي. And I'd have to be like, yeah, it's because I don't live with my parents for most of the year, except for during the holidays, and most of the Arab international students don't want to speak to me in Arabic because they don't think I can speak it. So the issue I had was that obviously I didn't grow up around that many other Arabs, so I'm not accustomed to other dialects and I was hoping university would change that, and it didn't. So I would like introduce myself, and they'd be like, where are you from? It's like, oh, I'm from Lebanon. And then like I would just casually clarify that I was born here, because a lot of people would assume I'm an international student, and I'd maybe say like, oh, فيك تحكي عربي لأنه أنا خلقت وتربيت هون, it's not my main, Arabic is not my main language, or they just speak to me in English, because بتقلن هيك وبيسمعوا, oh, I don't understand Arabic. And I'm not going to hold that against them, but it does come off as a bit condescending, and I guess like no one really wants to be your passive Arabic tutor. And I'm also conscious of the fact that a lot of those students, especially on an undergraduate level, did go to English language schools for most of their life, which is why they're studying abroad and why they have the money to study abroad, because those are usually private elite schools anyway. But so some of them, especially in Jordan and Egypt, and the UAE, they gravitate towards Arabic. So I didn't really get accustomed to like speaking Arabic, especially in other dialects, until my last year. There were like 2 or 3 Egyptian students that I met through the Friends of Palestine Society, and they definitely believed in my Arabic skills and were right to do so. So, أنا عايز أشكركم قوي بحبكم قوي. It's definitely gonna lose faith now, but thank you thank you a lot. It really helped me like get used to the Egyptian dialect. I was definitely like able to understand, and they definitely did not have any doubts in my Arabic. I'm so hot right now. After uni, I never really used Arabic much either outside of the house, because I spent a year looking for work, and even though I had an app that would get me service-based jobs, most of them required me to serve alcohol, which I can't do because haram. I'm Muslim. That is haram. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam cursed them in an authentic hadith. I worked 4 shifts at a Shake Shack. 3 of them were at the Covent Garden one, and I did not have to speak to the customers, and so for the most part I did not speak to them. The only time I spoke, and most of the time I would speak English, but there were a lot of Arab tourists and they would just speak to me in English because I had my mask on the whole time, because it was cold, not because I was indoors or anything. And the only time I spoke Arabic was like, there was definitely a Lebanese family and they were speaking English to their kids, but I spoke Arabic to the parents just because like I heard them speaking Arabic and I intervened like, وين الحمامات بهذه الاتجاه. And the other time was when I was like also speaking to another Lebanese family. I said ممكن تسهلوا شوي في ناس ناطرين يقعدوا تحت الشفاج وكتير برد ومعجوق. They were taking forever. They would like when I went for my hour-long lunch break, and I finished my hour-long lunch break, and they were back, and no one covered for my area, and I was just coming up and I'm like, قالي لي شو مش ومسخ محل لما حدا بيجي يمسح هون وينظف, like, because it's poorly managed. I do have an Arab co-worker, but I don't know where he's from. I've only met him once because he mainly works from home, and I've only been at this job for 2 weeks. And I'm not going to speak to him in Arabic because I know once I do, all the professionalism will go out of the window and I will probably get fired. I've never had to speak Arabic outside of the house, so I don't know how to do it in a professional manner, in a way that isn't wild and silly. So where am I in with Arabic now? It's not going great. It does take me quite a while to read Arabic, and most of the Arabic media sources that I follow on Instagram and Twitter do post in English, so I just tend to read in English because I just can't be bothered to read in Arabic when I'm just scrolling through social media. It does take me really long to read stuff in Arabic, and sometimes I'll not understand a word, or I'll not understand a sentence because I can understand each word and as I'm translating it in my head, but I can't understand the sentence, if you get what I mean. My train of thought is in English, so you know, that's just because of how I grew up. Again, not around Arabs. And I did look for Arabic classes last year online, but unfortunately I couldn't really find anything that was appropriate for my level, and most of them are super expensive. A lot of Arabic classes don't go for specific professions or specific contexts, and it's really hard to find stuff online, so I'm gonna keep looking, inshallah, at some point, but I just can't seem to find anything, though. And again, they are expensive, and I don't want to be spending so much money when I'm not earning anything. Like, I only got 4 shifts with Shake Shack, and that was for an entire year of looking for work. If I wasn't living with my parents, I would have probably starved to death or been begging on the streets. So alhamdulillah for that. I want to edit this in because I feel like I've disparaged myself a lot and I want to give myself credit where it's due. So about 5 months ago, I volunteered to help out with the embassy at the diaspora elections in London, and I posted a picture of myself on Instagram, and I posted some captions in English and Fusha Arabic, and I'm going to read it out now. لقد استمتعت كثيرا كمتطوع في مركز الاقتراع للانتخابات النيابية اللبنانية. شكرا لكل الزملاء الذين كانوا معي من السفارة اللبنانية والمجتمع اللبناني في لندن لمساعدة كل اللبنانيين الذين يسكنون في لندن وفي أحياء وقرى في إنجلترا قريب من لندن. فلننتظر إلى فترة التصويت في لبنان لكي نعرف نتيجة الانتخابات. And a lot of my relatives saw that because they follow me on Instagram, and my mum eventually saw it because she was in Lebanon at the time, and she was really impressed that I could write that, and she was like, "منين اتعلمت تكتب عربي هيك?" Like, she didn't drag me to Arabic school for 10 years. Like, if I wasn't able to write something like that, you've wasted 10 years of your life and so much money on Arabic school. So مبروك علي أنا. And I hope my Arabic can get better, because I kind of improvised that caption. What advice would I give to people wanting to learn Arabic? Because I know I'm going to get like this question a lot. So first of all, I want to say that you should have someone from a similar learning path teach you. So if you speak a specific dialect of Arabic, get a teacher who speaks a similar dialect, because like when I moved from a Qatari school to a Lebanese school, it really helped. That's my number one tip. My second tip would be, and if you want from an Arabic speaking background, get someone from a similar background to you. So like, especially if you're like from an Urdu speaking background, or a Farsi or a Turkish speaking background, or any language that has a lot of Arabic loanwords, I would suggest getting a teacher from a similar background, because then they can like make those bridges in terms of Arabic Urdu similarities. You know, like in Urdu you have like shukriya and mort and taqriban. A lot of people also ask, oh, should I learn standard Arabic or colloquial Arabic? So I would suggest learning both. Please do not learn just one. Please don't be that weird, edgy white guy that feels like, yeah, I know if you أنا بعرف شوي جملات من هيدي اللهجة اللبنانية بس ما بحكي كتير, and they don't really integrate, or that annoying non-Arab Muslim that tries to have conversations with you in modern standard Arabic. They're like, أهلا وسهلا كيف حالك اليوم فلنتكلم باللغة العربية ولا يهمني اللهجات لأنهم أراه شيء دني من اللغة العربية القرآنية, and it's just really rude. Like, it's not your language to be saying that. But you know, learn colloquial Arabic for social, romantic, or spoken media purposes, because you know a lot of even like news casts will have like broadcasts will have things in colloquial Arabic. Podcasts are usually in colloquial Arabic. I don't listen to that many podcasts, but the ones I do are both, well, the only one I listen to is now Saturday After Dinner, but at least there's one was also in Lebanese Arabic. A lot of TV shows, except cartoons, are usually in colloquial Arabic, depending on who's in it and where it's being filmed and who's producing it. I would say learn modern standard Arabic for professional written media purposes and religious stuff, and cartoons. Most cartoons now are dubbed in modern standard Arabic. However, they used to be dubbed in Egyptian Arabic because it was considered universal. But let's be honest, it's kind of just rude that, like, why do we have to know Egyptian Arabic and the Egyptians don't have to know other dialects, and then the Egyptians get mad because their kids can't understand Fusha Arabic, and like teach your kids Fusha Arabic or solve the illiteracy problem and poor education quality that means your Egyptian poor kids can't understand Fusha Arabic. You technically can speak Fusha Arabic. A lot of Arabic teachers will say, and Arab YouTubers will say you can't, but you can. I just did it, but again, it sounds forced. It really is. I don't know why I did this to a Syrian student once, like who couldn't speak English when I was in secondary school, and I feel so bad. So إذا اسمك محمد وأنت من سوريا وكنت بمدرسة روكبي من سنة 2014 بليز بدي أعتذر لك بتمنى إنك أنت وعائلتك بخير. And then there's the obviously question of why should you be bilingual? I mean, being bilingual is awesome. I think being bilingual is great, and I think being surrounded with other bilingual people and just around other languages, having grown up in an immigrant community, is great. It really makes you feel like you're in a diverse and cohesive area. And obviously I understand that there are there are obvious areas where, like, oh, this area is predominantly Bangladeshi, and this area is predominantly Lithuanian, and this area is predominantly Nigerian, and obviously that. But obviously, people move around and mix, and you hear different languages, and it's, being bilingual is great, and I think you, regardless of your background, should get in on it. Unfortunately, in England, we do live in a world of a very island mentality with exceptionalism, where a lot of people think learning other languages is ridiculous, and well, most of the world speaks English anyway, so why should we learn another language? But it's good to learn another language. Being around English speakers is not a guaranteed thing, just unless you're only going to Benidorm or something, because that's the only, they all have to learn English there, just for those pesky summertime Brits. Being bilingual is great. It opens so many doors. You have access to more media in the world, more cultural understanding from being able to travel to more places. It's really great. You become more of an open-minded person, and you realize that other worlds exist. It's really great being bilingual, because you can understand like how different people act, and like sometimes you get a whole other personality that you can have and just be for other people. Another one is better cognitive abilities. You have high IQ, you have better focus and more thinking abilities, and some studies say that it can have a positive impact on those with dementia. My granddad, Allah yarhamo, was a perfect English speaker. He had 2 PhDs, one in Arabic literature, one in English literature. We suspect that he got Alzheimer's from a stroke he had in 2009, but I didn't hear it being spoken about in the family until like 2015 and 2016. I think that's when people picked up on the fact that he was like that was like when it got really bad, and he was like properly forgetting. They'd be like, oh, when are you gonna start university, and what's your name, and this and that, and then he couldn't go out anymore. It got bad. And the last thing I want to talk about is that you increase your employment opportunities. Being bilingual is a skill. Every university requires you to have a minimum of a pass in GCSE of a modern foreign language, so all schools should be teaching it, and I think it should be a requirement, and I think we should be upping the standards for how we teach modern foreign languages, because my French is awful, and I took that stuff from year 7 to year 11, so it really is a valuable skill. I had about 8 or 9 interviews over my job search course, and in 2 of them my Arabic speaking abilities, because I put that on my CV, it did come up. So the first one was a job interview for an economics data company, and they would essentially do data processing. I can't exactly, and essentially provide things for clients. I can't remember exactly what the company was, but they said that, oh, well, the reason why we might need your Arabic language skills is because when certain databases release their data, they may release the documents in Arabic first before they release it in English, and because some of it is time sensitive and we need that extra time, even if it is just 15 minutes, they really did say 15 minutes. In fact, it was really time sensitive because to do with time sensitivity with that data of what they were tracking, because the workday started at 7. So, and the other second one was that was Middle East Eye, which obviously requires you to speak Arabic because you have to be able to actually contact Arabic speaking media sources. And when it comes to current events in the Arab world, the initial announcements and the early stuff will come out in Arabic, and then we, as people in the English language media, tend to transmit the English language stuff. And obviously they have their own stuff, but because that stuff comes out in Arabic first, it makes sure that we can get the news out as quickly as possible. So that's another important thing, and it's just it really opens up doors, and I think that goes for a lot of languages, especially the major ones like Western European languages, Mandarin, Japanese, Hindi. I don't know if Hindi is on one of the major languages, but obviously, like, it's good. Hindi is a national language in India, so it's probably useful as well. And that's my video. I can make it. If you want to raise points about, like, oh, language and society and European languages and non-European languages, like, go ahead. I'm gonna make another video about that, inshallah. And, you know, again, please press the like button, subscribe, and share this channel and this video with your friends and loved ones, and talk about your experiences of learning another language in the comment section and see if you can relate. And if you're Arab and you grew up in the UK, please tell me where you grew up, because sometimes it's a really lonely experience. Bye bye.